Hello everyone, and welcome to the first MLB playoffs Kleschka's Picks. I'm just going to say what I think the final outcome of each series will be in the playoffs. So let's get started. The AL wildcard game is the Orioles and the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are going to win the wildcard game. The pitching matchup is Marcus Stroman versus Chris Tillman. Chris Tillman came off a good year, and Marcus Stroman came off an year. I'm picking the Blue Jays because of their hitting. I think they have very good hitters in Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, Martin. They got a lot of heavy hitters. Don't get me wrong, the Orioles have hitters too, and Machado, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, Adam Jones. But I think the Blue Jays hitting is going to prevail over the Orioles. Next is the NL wildcard game, which is the Giants and Mets. I'm going to pick the Giants on this one. This is going to be a very low-scoring game in my opinion. It's Bumgarner versus Syndergaard. Two very good pitchers. Two Cy Young caliber pitchers. I'm a believer in this even year thing with the Giants. 2010, 12, and then 14. And hey, we're in 2016 now. But I think Bumgarner's going to outduel Syndergaard in what's going to be a low-scoring game. So yeah, I'm going with the Giants to move on. Okay, in the division series, it's Texas versus the AL wildcard, which I chose being the Blue Jays. Even though I hate to say this as an Angels fan, I feel like the Rangers are going to be moving on to the championship series. They stacked their lineup by trading for Lucroy and Beltran into an already pretty good lineup with Beltre, Andrews, and other good hitters on that team, Desmond. These teams could definitely slug it, but what I think is going to push the Rangers forward is they have better pitching, in my opinion. They got Cliffley. They got Cole Hamels. They got Yu Darvish. Don't get me wrong, Stroman, Aaron Sanchez. That's a pretty good rotation too. And I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a sweep or anything. I'm going to say they're going to win in this 5-game series 3-2. Boston and Cleveland. I feel like the Indians were very underrated and not on as many people's radar. The Red Sox are a good team. The Red Sox will be tough to beat. I think the Red Sox are going to take this one. They just have more postseason experience than the Indians. What I want to happen, I'd love to see the Indians go on in the playoffs, but I think the Red Sox have more skill and just have more experience to move and beat the Indians. I think the Red Sox are going to win this series 3-1. The Dodgers and Nationals. The Nationals have Scherzer as a top pitcher. Dodgers have Kershaw, but Kershaw, when it comes to the postseason, just seems to not be Kershaw for some reason. These are both good lineups. Daniel Murphy and Bryce Harper leading the way for the Nationals, and Corey Seager, Jock Peterson, Adrian Gonzalez, other good hitters in that lineup leading the way for the Dodgers. But I'm going to have to say the Nationals on this one. A lot of my Dodger films teammates, I guess, would be the word I would use, are going to get on me for that. But I'm going to have to say the Nationals. I feel like they're the better team. I think the Nationals are going to beat the Dodgers 3-2. Next is Cubs and Giants. And this is where I say the even year magic runs out, and yeah, pretty fast. The Cubs are an amazing team. Amazingly young, talented, and I just think they're going to beat them. They have an amazing rotation. Jake Arrieta, John Lester, Kyle Hendricks, John Lackey, and their lineup, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, like full of great players. The Giants, they have good pitching, but I don't think their lineup is as good as the Cubs. They got Panic, they do have Crawford, Belt, Posey, but I just think the Cubs will be able to outpitch and outhit them. I think they're going to win the series 3-1. The ALCS. Alright, these are two teams that I just... First of all, I'm an Angels fan, so rooting for the Rangers is hard for me. And then after that, I'm a Yankees fan, so rooting for the Red Sox is hard for me. So it's hard for me to pick either one of these teams to move on. But I'm going to have to say the Rangers are going to move on. Now, I think it'll be close in this series of 7. Like I said earlier, the Rangers have that good pitching. Their lineup is stacked, but so is the Red Sox. This could go either way, but I feel like they're just going to get that nudge slightly. I think this is going to go down to a 4-3 series of 7. Yeah, I think it's going to be that close. Okay, now the NLCS. It's the Cubs and Nationals is what I said, what I think would happen. And I think the Cubs are going to beat the Nationals to move on to the World Series. The Cubs just were an amazing team this year. 103 wins, I think, I'm pretty sure. And the Nationals, don't get me wrong, are a good team. But once you get past Scherzer, it's not like an amazing rotation. It's a good pitchers, Gio Gonzalez, Joe Ross, but it's not guys that you should be afraid of like Scherzer. The Cubs' whole rotation was amazing this year. That's what puts the Cubs over the Nationals for me. I think the Cubs are going to win this series in 6 games, 4-2. And now, the World Series. I predicted the Rangers and the Cubs to be in the 2016 World Series. Who do I think is going to win the World Series? I think it's going to be the Cubs. I think they're going to complete the perfect season, going through the whole NL playoffs and then winning it all, winning it big. I just cannot express enough how good this team is. With Zobrist, Bryant, and Rizzo, and all these players. The Rangers also have all these good players. I said that plenty. Both of these teams are very good, Cubs and Rangers. I just think the Cubs are going to be able to do it and beat them and go all the way. The Cubs also have a certain magic to them. I think this curse is over. No more curse of the GOAT, none of that. When they're down, they always find that magic and come back. I saw it plenty of times during the regular season, and I think they can carry it on to the postseason. So, with that said, I think the Cubs will beat the Rangers in the World Series 4-2. Alright guys, that was my first ever MLB playoff predictions. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and why not, leave a comment. And I will see you next season.